not supported by and do not reflect those of the Evening Rush Network. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Hi.
Hey, good evening. How are we doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing great. Welcome to the Chris and Nina podcast. She's running a little behind
Yeah,
schedule.
I'm holding it down for the beautiful Miss Nina until she gets here.
That's right. We have the beautiful rainbow. Looking better than a bag of Skittles. How you doing?
Yeah, right. I'm good. I mean, I can't complain. Uh, I ain't got no job.
Yeah.
As I keep telling everybody, I ain't got no job. So I ain't did shit all day.
Yeah, well, you about to be out of here anyway, right?
I
You about
am.
to
That's why I don't have a job.
Yeah, God bless you. God bless you. But your man got 5 jobs, right?
I'm like Rochelle on Everybody Hates Chris. I don't need this because my man got 2 jobs.
Oh, and here we go. Nina is in the
Ah,
building.
Nina.
Yes, come
Look, I
on
didn't look. I
down.
didn't have to be on here that long.
Yeah, she came through. She's here. She's taking care of some
Look,
last minute business.
look. Let me see it. Let me see them teeth, Nina. They probably shining, nice
Yeah,
and
not
white,
she got them chrome plated. Ooh,
nice and pearly white.
she could open cans of sardines now with her teeth. She gonna kill me for saying this. Wow, I haven't seen her like a month. She was out of this world. She was on the moon buying up real estate there.
Just
So
make sure I got a spot. Okay.
exactly. Yeah, so well, anyway, before we get to Nina, how was your trip to ATL? Was it ATL or just Georgia?
It was just Georgia. We went to areas. I mean, it was Atlanta, but the outskirts of Atlanta. Not Ain't nobody trying to live in Atlanta because can't nobody. Well, not can't nobody afford that, but ain't nobody trying to leave New York and
Go
uh
to another New York, right?
right. No, ain't nobody trying to do that. I need a little southern hospitality.
Mm,
I need to be about 45 minutes from Atlanta. Close enough where I can go, but far enough that I don't really have to go if I don't want to. I
right.
need to
So
be I need to be in Queens. Like if I was in New York, I need to be in Queens versus
yeah,
Manhattan.
yeah, got you. Yeah, you need to be somewhere where you got wildlife in your backyard. You know, you can.
I don't know about that. They can keep that though. They can definitely keep the wildlife. I don't want that. But I know I'm going to have to get used to it, but I don't really want it cuz
And you got dinner right in your
no,
backyard.
I don't want that. Mm-mm. I don't eat possums and squirrels and things of that nature. I'm
Oh,
Southern, but I ain't gumbo Southern.
oh,
And
all right.
alligator, I swamp meat. I ain't from Nolans.
Yes. So Nina's in the building.
Yeah,
Yes, she wants to switch.
she wants to switch.
Said switch. Said switch. All right, can you hear me? We
Yeah,
good? All
yes.
right. Yes, indeed. Welcome back, Nina.
Well,
Yeah,
hi. Look, long time no see.
I know it's been forever. Yeah, yeah. Here we go. So yeah. So Nina, what beach were you on? There you go. That's better.
Better lighting too. Nina knows what she's doing.
I know. I missed that. You see what I was missing, guys? I was all alone for weeks. She abandoned me, left me alone with the podcast.
Mm, you have to move closer to the mic.
that he left the States back in 2014, and he's selling the house. Well, we really located him, and
Where in
yeah,
Israel?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
See?
Single family over by Old Mill Basin. Yeah, he just left the country, and he left everything the way it is. Creditors, judgment.
Yeah, Nina, it's still a little low.
Oh,
Yeah.
not sure.
There
Should
you go.
I
That's better. There
should I
you
That's
go
go.
not,
like this?
there
Yeah.
you
There you go.
go.
There you go. Yeah. I can hear you now.
Hi,
So let me
so
get this
yeah,
straight. You go on vacation to work.
but it's not vacation. I went on a trip.
What she said was she went to make money.
Exactly.
Whether it's vacation, she said I am a money maker.
Exactly. She's a money maker and a
I
money
see
magnet.
opportunity, I must seize the day.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
It was on the way. And again, I didn't go on vacation to to enjoy being alone. And it was a trip. We went to visit the family overseas as they live there, and I did it in a good enough timing where I prearranged it with the owner of that property to ensure that he's
Oh.
in the country, because a lot of people go away during Easter and Passover.
Hmm.
Um, so it was definitely two birds with one stone. Yeah.
Okay.
Make that money, girl.
Yeah. So you were away. Rainbow was house shopping in Atlanta.
Oh,
I was apartment shopping. I wasn't house shopping. I told you I have to make sure that Georgia is where I want to be before I buy a house. And once I buy a house, once I decide that's where I want to be and I decide I want to buy a house, then we got some talking to do.
Yeah. You know what? You're a perfect guest for this show, by the way.
You know
Perfect
what?
guest.
I'm so not picky about your topic. I'm so not picky. I'm like, it looks good. If it looks good, I'm fine with it. I'm not picky. I just don't want nothing too high. I'm gonna go with the flow type of girl.
Okay. So he's gonna make the major decision for
I,
you.
he could. I don't care.
exactly.
Ah.
It depends on the family. It depends on the situation. Because I have a really good friend. By the way, she started off as a client, who went to Georgia, and she tried her luck over there for a year. She didn't like it, and she came back.
See?
Yeah.
And then I have a really good childhood friend who started in New York, went to Atlanta, and she's doing very well.
Yeah.
It just depends on the situation and what it is that you're looking to do, and
Hmm.
obviously your work. You know, so not so much for the place. Obviously, in my opinion, it's always nicer to be in a sunshine state, um,
Georgia.
warmer than New York. But of course, tell me to leave New York, I don't think I would.
That's because you never sleep and you belong. Wait,
No.
wait, wait.
She belongs in a city that
Oh
never
I
no.
sleeps.
didn't even have
Yeah.
time to do my makeup today.
Yeah.
I didn't do my
Yeah.
makeup.
We didn't. Nobody sees that. Oh my
No one notices
goodness.
that.
Oh my
I didn't
god.
notice
Oh,
that.
Yeah. Oh my god. Your nails look nice.
thank you. I did them myself.
You did?
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you.
I thought you just did.
She said she likes to spend money, but if she has a talent, she'll learn how to she knows a way to save it. So she did her own nails so she can
True.
spend it somewhere else.
True. But also, I feel I'm not like a girly girl. So
Mm.
I have the machine that I do it myself. Because imagine taking the time to go first. Let's start with prearranging. You need to make an appointment, drive to the place,
Hmm.
park, get your nails done, wait for them to do it. Make sure you like it, wait for it to dry, and then drive all the way back. Who needs that? Take out your machine while you're working, do this, and obviously you need to have some talent, but it's okay. Once you put the
It's
top
decent.
coat, it settles and it looks good. So all the ladies out there, a really good gel machine, the simplest one, $100. You get your colors, you do it yourself, little by little. You get it. You get it going. You'll get it. You'll make it work.
Well, that's why I'm bald. I don't want to wait in a barber shop. I don't want to make an appointment. I don't want to spend $50 for something I can do for $5.
Yeah. Well,
I feel you, but I'm one of convenience. I will pay for convenience. I'm not
Mm,
gonna. I don't wash my own hair. I'm not doing my own nails. I'm not doing any
wow.
of that. I pay for things like that because there's other things that I can do myself that I'm not going to pay anybody for. So I have to pick and choose my battles. When it comes to like services, I want somebody else to do it because I like the feeling of it.
Got you.
I
Yeah,
Got
like
you.
the feeling of being pampered.
yeah, that's a girly girl.
Got
No, actually, I'm really not a girly girl. I just like, I'm a massage therapist, so touch is a
Oh,
very is a very essential thing for me. Like I need someone else to touch me for me to feel like I got something done.
you.
got you. Maybe because you do that, then you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got you.
Okay, that's a
Yeah,
good
but
one.
yeah, I don't like people touching me. So yeah, one time I had a male masseuse because my back I couldn't move. I was in so much pain. I didn't care who the masseuse was. I did like people were like, "Oh," and I was like that too. I was like, "Oh no."
And you're a big dude.
Right.
Like the
So
masseuse needs to be.
like I go to those masseuse where they hold on to the pole and they walk on
Oh,
my back and they do they
shiat, you out
keep
here getting
yeah,
shiatsu done on you.
yeah. But this time I didn't have time to go to all that. I went to some dude and boy, he cracked my back and whatever he did, I was able to walk home. I couldn't walk.
See,
I was in
see,
so much pain.
he did
And
his job.
Yeah. Yeah.
speaking about job, how was Easter for you in work?
Easter was it was a ghost town here, man. Like it wasn't even like it felt like nobody was here.
Easter Sunday, or you just talking about the whole week?
That whole week, it was the strangest
Well,
Well,
it
like she said,
started.
a lot of people go away
Yeah.
because the
yeah.
kids are out of school.
And then also I think so you have Easter and then you have other religions that
You
No,
have
it started
Easter with
only.
Passover. You have
yeah,
Ramadan.
Ramadan,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was quite a few things going on. It just felt it was a very quiet Easter. But
Ta-da.
my brother and my sister, my brother-in-law and sister have a church.
Mm.
And so this is like they're going on their second year. But this was my first
Wow.
time going to their church and
No,
seeing, yeah. And so they're doing a whole bunch of renovations. And I was like, wow, it was a very nice church. It's up in I want to say upstate New York, but it's not really upstate New York. It's across the Tappan Zee Bridge. It's
How
between
come
mm-hmm.
it's been like it took you time to go?
Because he said it's not
that's
here. It's
that's a
not right here.
that's a
It's a
yeah,
good little minute to get there.
yeah, and then that's another podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, between COVID and never made it to one of their services, so I went, and also it's like a 5 hour service,
Wow.
Oh no! I
and
thought
then
the days of services that long were over.
no, I'm just joking. No, it was
Because no, because black church usually is used to be
it's
the
Baptist.
yes. And Baptist
Yeah,
church, that's what I'm saying. Black Baptist churches are they used to have service for 3, 4, 5 hours, and you'd be like, I'm hungry.
yeah,
Wow.
Can we get a timeout, a break, or something?
yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
Not
But
anymore. Not
and then
anymore. They be an hour. That's it. Get it in and get it out. Because they usually sometimes they be having more than one service though too.
no, it was one service, but it was
Okay.
only long because I saw it. It's only long because of Easter they did a show. But I told my sister, I'm calling child services. You have my son her son being a conductor. Then he played Jesus in the play. Then he sang a solo. I said, man, that's the only thing he didn't do is preach.
That's the hardest working man in the church.
Yeah, he was doing everything. I was like, wow. But I saw him since he was 5. He was always. I used to call him. His nickname is Burger, so I used to call him Pastor Burger when he was 5, and he hated it. I said, because I see where you're going, son. I see it. And so to watch him do that and have that energy and spirit, it was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful day. But you know what was longer than the service?
What?
Waiting to eat. We went to a restaurant and
Yeah.
we were there for
No,
2 hours.
you can't go to a restaurant after church because that's when all the church people go.
No, the restaurant was nowhere near the church. The restaurant was
No, I'm just
in
saying in general. Like
in general.
it's just like a general thing. Like on Sunday, you can't go to church. I mean, you can't go to a restaurant like at like 12, between 12 and 4, because that's when all the church people go out because they go out. They usually go to a restaurant after church. It don't got to be your church, but there's a church somewhere near that restaurant.
Yeah. But that and we wait. we waited. It was like 8 of us. We waited 2 hours.
Oh no, I'd have
Then we
left.
then we sit down, and the food was
Oh
terrible,
Oh
no.
no.
terrible. All they made was chicken and steaks and burgers. The burgers were rare. We had to send that back because we wanted medium rare. The steak was well done. We wanted that more rare.
Oh
Like,
man.
and then I'm like, we eating, and I'm like, the best thing was the bread and the water.
Dang, your sodas weren't even good. That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? No, they didn't even have like, I don't drink Coke, so they had Pepsi.
Mm,
I drink Pepsi. They didn't have Pepsi, so I had water.
gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
You could have had an iced tea or something.
Nah, I don't. It's got to be diet for me. They don't.
Oh.
Yeah,
Mm.
so yeah, it was crazy, but the company was good. I haven't really spent time with them in a long time, so we were there. We were talking for hours, so it really didn't. The food was a letdown, but the company was so great that like it didn't matter.
Wow. And do you do a special services? I guess in
Yeah, it was.
church for Easter, you guys have different type of prayers. I would assume,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's why they did a show and the birth of Jesus Christ. Like they did put on a production. A lot of people.
Mm.
My sister sings. She sang at my wedding, so she sings.
Oh
But
wow.
but it was her son doing more of the singing. Like I said, child abuse. I am calling social services. Nah, I said you got to pay that kid. He was working.
Wow. Are there different types of um churches who do more or less in terms of like the time, like let's say for example in the Jewish community, right?
Yeah,
We have the type that does the prayers faster and maybe even less, and then there's a different type that does it more and more. um I'm just gonna use the word exhausting for a minute.
yeah.
They exhaust the prayers and they do extra because they're just a different type of Jews. Like, do you have those
Yes.
type of differences also? Yeah.
Yes. Not on Easter.
On
We
Easter, I feel like all the like Catholic, Baptist, Pentecostals, on Easter they always do the most.
right,
Oh,
right,
okay.
right,
So
right,
it's Easter
right.
even more than Christmas, you would
Ye-
say?
yeah. Well, Christmas, no. Christmas is like a Christmas and New Year's is like a whole
Production.
like
Different.
day thing. Like I
Yeah,
know for New Year's, like New Year's Eve, they'll start church at like 8 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock until the ball drops.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay.
But you'll get a lot of songs and a lot of
Oh,
prayers.
I love Christmas songs.
No, 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 no. It won't be Christmas songs.
Oh well, during
I
Christmas it'll be
It'll
Christmas
be
songs,
church.
but
No, it'll
church,
be church. It'll be church Christmas.
yeah.
like the
It
dancing.
it
Mm,
all depends on the church
yeah.
because
Oh,
some
okay.
churches have really good songs, and then some you're like, okay, this is a yarn
Wait,
fest.
wait, wait, Rainbow. Wait, wait. Can you show us the dancing again?
Yes, Nina,
No, listen, you got the rhythm, so they're over there.
you got to get the clapping too.
Oh yeah, yeah. How does it go? Wait, teacher, you gotta know.
You got to double clap.
Imagine Chris. Oh man. Okay. I
uh,
gotta visit one time.
yeah, you wanna come to church on a Sunday? Let me know. But Sundays is open house season.
Speaking of churches, I had a priest
Uh-huh.
that it turned out for him that he was involved with me in a huge sale.
Mm,
Oh wow.
Huge. Yeah, we actually did a flip together, and
Okay.
great.
he did so well that he left the church. We moved, yeah,
Do
I'm
they
not
even
saying
get
that for him.
paid? Uh,
He no, he
Priests
made a
don't
flip.
get paid, do they?
They well from their service. I don't know how it works. I know that it's based on donations and an organization and stuff. But he was recommending someone into a deal, and
Mm,
they eventually wanted him to basically be almost a consultant or some type of not a realtor, but he helped them relocate and
Right.
sell their homes, and he turned out to make a lot of money. And he said, Nina, it's time for me to move to. He left to a different state, where he purchased a home. He got so much more for his money outside of New York. Whatever, don't leave New York. New York is the best.
Yeah.
And he relocated. He did so well.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a very nice thing
And
to
it's
see.
funny because I was talking to my brother, and
Mhm.
a lot of folks think that pastors are a full-time job, that that's what they like when you go to your pastor, like that's all they do.
No,
But no, they have jobs, they
they
have
have.
businesses,
I
they
mean,
have
some of them do, some don't, depending on how big their church is.
right.
But if the church is a small church, they have regular jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, they just like it's just, so they're building up their congregation, and so the church is small, but it's I think a lot of times what happens too is when you get a new pastor, sometimes people leave,
They do.
or they
How
go
come?
with the pastor. Because
Oh,
some
like to follow that
right
pastor.
to
Got it.
to wherever they're
Well,
going.
yeah. If the pastor leaves, but if the pastor passes away, most of the people stay.
Right.
Oh, wow.
They're like, well, we ain't got. He don't got another home, so we ain't got another home. So I
Right.
guess we got to stay here and be with. Find out if the new pastor's good.
Yeah, there's a lot of politics and everything, and the church ain't no different.
No,
Very,
Surface
very
and what we
similar
see,
to
but
others.
behind the scenes. And so, one of the most difficult experiences is when the church is trying to find a new pastor,
hmm
because then you have to take into account the community. Then there's a
that's
board.
like
There's
the
a
that's
board
like the
behind the
U.S.
scenes.
trying to find a new president when the church is trying to find a new pastor.
Wow.
Right. Yeah, it's a whole process. It's a
Wow.
whole process,
And I
and
know in some churches they let people stay and they provide like for homeless shelter, some type
right,
of homeless
right,
shelters. Right?
right.
I
Yeah.
was surprised to learn that. Um,
What?
a few of them are holding shelters
Yeah,
for
yeah,
hmm
yeah. I go to Christian Cultural Center. They do a lot for the community in that way too.
That is a big
Um,
church.
it's a
The
humongous.
CCC.
Yes, yes.
That is one big old church.
Is
But
that like a franchise that you guys are talking about,
no,
or
no, no. It's
one
just a church.
specific
It's one.
place?
It's considered sort of like a mini mega church.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so big.
yeah, yeah.
Have you been to the one in the city? Again, I don't know what type you
What,
guys
what,
go
what,
to,
what
but
in the city?
there's one very big church in the city by Fifth Avenue in the 50s,
Is it
40s.
Catholic or?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, then okay. So you
yeah.
go
There's
to
like
a
different. Yeah,
Baptist.
yeah,
No,
yeah. I
That
don't.
one.
I
look,
don't.
no, we ain't
Yeah.
been to that. Look. I
I
don't
was
want to talk.
there.
I don't want to talk about people churches, but Catholic churches when they start singing, I start to tune out. I'd be like,
They'd be like, Lord,
yeah, everything's a
oh,
hymn. I don't.
Lord.
Everything's like opera. I don't want to hear this. I need
Oh,
some
okay.
rhythm. I need some rhythm
And you
in
have a
my.
DJ.
No,
Huh?
there's no DJ
And
in
you
the
have a
church.
DJ.
I need
There's
an
always
organist or
there's always
something.
a live band. Yeah, my sister church, they were throwing down. There's a live band
Baby.
with
Are you allowed to
instruments.
film it, or you don't? You're not supposed to use your phone.
No, you can feel. A matter of fact, the service is online too. They're on YouTube.
Yep. A lot of the churches, well,
Yeah,
most of the churches now are on YouTube because of COVID. So they knew
yeah,
a lot of their congregation couldn't come in. So most of the churches are on YouTube. You send your
yeah.
tithes through Cash App or Venmo or Zelle or
Yes,
Apple Pay.
yes.
Do you ever have those days where you're not really supposed to be touching your phone or be
No,
driving by
that's not in.
car?
That's not
In the
Baptist.
church.
Baptist community, no.
No,
Mm-mm.
because also I have the Bible in my phone,
Uh-huh.
and then also I take notes in my phone.
Okay.
Or sometimes I'll even record, because sometimes I got to record if it's a lot of notes. So it just depends.
Why notes? They
No,
teach you?
because so CCC is sort
There's a message. So you
right,
have to figure out what that message is for you. So
right.
you take notes. So you be like, oh, so you can reflect on the message of what
Yeah,
the pastor was saying Jesus was saying to you.
Wow,
yeah.
interesting.
And then also, when we're in this real estate business, there's a lot of negativity through the week sometimes. And I chose CCC because when I go, his messages always, it's funny, they all relate to business in a way. It's
Mm,
like he puts the Bible and then and mixes it with business.
because that is a
Yeah.
business that he is running, because that
Right.
is a big old church and
That's
there's
a
a lot of
humongous
money.
church.
A lot of money in that church.
And so he knows what it's like to deal with people that have no faith. And so, and that's the thing. Sometimes when you deal with people without faith, you go into different fights. But when you go into the church, I get the spirit, I get the message, and I get clarity, and I can shake off the week.
Okay.
But sometimes I go twice
How
a week.
about health? Do they involve the health
Yeah.
in connection with the
Yes.
Hmm.
Bible?
Yes. Yes. Because if you don't take care of your health, as the like, in a way, we're all churches, is from the way he goes about it. So if you're the head of your household and you're not taking care of your health, then
Who's gonna take care of your household?
right. And who's going to take care of your kids? Who's going to take care of your husband, or who's going to take care of your wife? Or it's one of those things. So he preaches a lot of balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nina's gonna have to go to church with you one day. Look,
Yeah, I don't
I have a
know.
lot
I
of
don't know.
questions.
I don't know.
she's gonna have a
Maybe
lot of questions.
I don't want to talk too much about religion. That's not what we aimed for, but it's interesting. These are things that people are needing to know, and some people are curious, like myself. You see,
Yeah.
I don't know. I never knew about Baptist in relation to the types of Christianity and Catholic. But how do you feel about that rally that took place in Times Square? Did you hear about that a couple of days ago? There were like 100,000 people rallying about Muslims, about how all the churches supposed to be practicing Islam, and then that really everyone is Islam. Did
Wow.
you hear some of those
I
videos?
did
Or
not.
I don't look. Let me tell. I
Not.
try to stay away from the news because I feel like there's nothing but negativity. Like they never show anything good on the news, so I try to stay away from it. Don makes me do current events every once in a while, but if he doesn't send it to me, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I didn't hear about what you're talking about. But I
no?
also stay away from the religion wars. Like where,
Yeah,
it's just very, and a lot of it winds up being political.
political,
That's
100%.
And
all it
so
is.
unless they're gonna buy homes, like, no, I'm just kidding. If they're on the market, assalamu alaikum, like. But no, so listen, I did a REO boot camp, REO. I met with an asset manager,
Okay.
and he's gonna come on the
I'm
show.
not gonna tell you that. I thought you said acid, not asset,
Yeah,
but acid. I was about to
asset.
say, Chris, why would you meet with an acid man?
My apologies. Yes, asset manager, and it was a great workshop. Met a good group of folks, agents from Atlanta, California. He's out west as well. So I picked up some valuable information. They're looking at the REO market to start making some interesting moves. Because Wells Fargo, if people who had a Wells Fargo mortgage, Wells Fargo, they're out of the mortgage business. So
Does that mean that your mortgage is canceled?
no, no, no. That was the problem with Wells Fargo. If you got into trouble, they canceled you. You lost your home.
Mm,
Yeah, they had very little flexibility in terms of like short sales or offering a second chance to homeowners. But
that's
they're out
crazy.
but they're out of the mortgage business now.
Good.
So
Get them out.
that's
Mm.
like $5 billion worth of business that's on the table for somebody to pick up.
Mm.
So we were talking about that. But anyway, so we're gonna have some interesting guests coming up, coming in the next few weeks. Nina's back, but I never know. She just bought a jet plane. She might be out tomorrow. Like,
She said, stop telling people this.
He's not with me.
oh yeah. All right. So hey,
Listen, we are Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. This is like prime time, you
I
guys.
know. We're gonna have to change that. Listen, we gotta
We're gonna
go.
have to change that.
We'll be right back. We're gonna take a
Oh,
short break. See
I,
you on the other side.
Yeah.
oh my God, give me.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Chrissy, here to let you know that the Evening Rush Network now has an app. Yes, an app, you guys. So you can stay connected on the go and watch all your favorite podcast shows. You can download the app at Google Play Store or Apple iTunes. So spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, if you're looking to start a podcast and really don't know how, well, hit us up at the Evening Rush Network at gmail.com and inquire about time slots, pricings, and everything you may need to get started. We got you. Join the winning team, the Evening Rush Network. And also, download that app. What are you waiting for? Get to it.
We're gonna be around. Hi, we're
Hey,
back.
Welcome back, Chris and Nina, back in the seats again. So thank you, Rainbow, for coming on with us.
Yeah.
So now, Nina, like we speaking about husband versus wife, who gets top say when purchasing a home. So when you deal with your clients and they are married, what do you typically see when it comes to making these decisions or making these choices?
So there is a say
Mm.
that they say behind every successful man,
Uh-huh.
there is a. Do you remember that sentence?
Successful woman.
So-
So I
yeah,
just say happy
not
wife,
as
happy
not
life.
just a successful woman. You see, the wife, the the girl version
Yeah.
of the relationship. That's how I'm going to put it, because
Yeah.
not everyone is male and female nowadays. But I'm going to say the female version of the relationship.
Yeah.
She's the one that holds the family normally, right?
Yeah.
She's the one that holds the family, the kid side um, of the relationship, the warmth, the togetherness,
Yeah.
the build up, overall keeping it together, even with the small things from, hey, where are you? Come have dinner. Let's just grab a quick breakfast. That's what keeps the togetherness of any relationship.
Yeah.
It's not always with the materialistic things where let's buy a house together, what type of car do you want, or where are we going to go on vacation.
Yeah.
So the wife is really the one that makes it a home. Again, sorry, not the wife, the female side of a relationship.
So
So go ahead.
I just want to pick up the materials that my wife wants. I just want to pick up the color paint. I don't want to make those decisions. I don't care what color things are, what type of floor, if we have a fireplace or don't have a fireplace. But I do want to have a space where I can have my man cave and that's all mine. Nothing else matters to me.
And then again,
Yeah.
if you are happy with your wife in
Yeah.
your example, okay?
Yeah.
Let's just use your example. You wanting your space, let's call it.
Yeah.
You want your space. I know that if your wife is going to be happy with you and the day to day relationship is up and running, God willing,
Yeah.
and it's all good, she's not going to care where you sit. She's not going to care when you take off or when you take a break. She's not going to care. Why? Because she knows that that bond is there.
Yeah.
Where, for instance, other couples, unfortunately, where um, they don't do so well. Now, in most cases, it starts with the financing. Unfortunately, when people don't have enough money on how to pay the bills, on how to hold the kids, on how to overall put a household together, that puts a stress. And they say, you know what? When there's no money in the house, the sorry, when the finances put all the stress on you, that drives away a couple. And you know what? That's the reason I tell people that when they talk to me about kids, if you don't have money or help, do not have kids because you need these, well, you need
Resources.
money and or help. If you don't have that, don't have kids because then who suffers? The relationship.
Yeah.
Where if the female in the relationship puts it together and ensures that this home is a home, then you need her in the relationship. So then you ask me, okay, Nina, wife versus husband, who makes the decision? You really want to ensure that your wife is happy. So if your wife tells you, dude, I don't like elevators, I like to buy a lot of shopping, I like to carry my bags, I don't like to have people deliver it to me, I like to pick and choose and go and come back home, I don't like elevators. So you're going to say, okay, then I'm going to buy a small, tiny house to make sure that she walks inside her house rather than to have a superior home, a condo on the 30th floor, and then to have her suffer up and down the elevator. So you need to be able to compromise, but mainly to listen to your wife.
All right, so I got a curveball for you now. Let's say
Let's hear it.
the husband before you already owns a house
Mm-hmm.
that he bought prior to being married that you had no say in what he bought. and the wife moves into that house,
Yeah.
does that work?
So again, it's all about compromising. If she knows that you had your place before and she's smart enough to compromise and to say, okay, I don't have enough of a closet space, but I know that if I have one extra bedroom, I can maybe talk him into converting this into a walking closet or an extra closet. Or if there's only one bathroom and you want to ensure that you have an extra bathroom for those who come and visit you, and you can find a way to make your kitchen maybe a little smaller and fit a 4 by 6 half a bathroom on the first floor. So you need to compromise by making your kitchen smaller, but then you'll gain an extra half a bathroom for your guests, so they're not going to have to go into your bedroom. So if that wife walks into an existing place and she's not able to compromise, then dude, you chose her. You need to go by what she feels and maybe either sell it, refinance it, rent it, and get another place. Um, Again, it's all about compromising. But if the neighborhood is bad, where even your neighbor is too loud, or if they smoke, or your way to your place is, or no parking, if the problem is major, that you say, okay, she tried and it's not working
Yeah.
out, then you need to make a move.
Yeah, Ranisha said if he has a house already, she will make your house a home.
Yeah,
I agree. But what if there's history of another family or a different relationship or a different marriage and that marriage was separated and then you still have that home
go
and
out. No, I for that
Mm,
I'm against that. No, whatever you had before, and if God forbid you get separated, divorced, whatever, even as a widow, again, God forbid, move, change. You
now
know?
I was this is actor named Tyrese. Do you know Tyrese?
Yeah, the dude that went through an accident, that
He
his face cut up
yeah,
open. He was in the Fast and the
Fast
Furious.
and the Furious, yes.
Okay, yeah,
So he owns a home that he had with his previous wife
yeah. Okay,
and they have a child together.
okay.
And so he moved on. So now he's with a different woman
Oh boy.
and she moved into the house that he had with his previous wife.
Okay.
And I'm like, you couldn't just sell the home and buy a new home and but she made the choice to do that. So that's her decision. But what do you think of
I don't believe in that. I don't think they should do that. Also for the fact of the health of the kid.
that?
The kid sees his mother there and then someone else is replacing. It will always look as a replacement
Right.
because the mother was staying in that place. No, absolutely not. No, who does that? You need to change. Now, again, financials, they don't have the ability to change it. I'm sure they have the ability to replace it,
Right.
meaning temporarily, or something that a plan that will work in a way that, okay, they don't have to make a major move. They can do small move and rent it out. Even subleasing. Today subleasing is so big,
Yes.
so big. um
You could
and
also
so
Airbnb.
yeah, no, not anymore. Almost not anymore.
Well, they're not in New York. Though. I don't think he's in New York. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And maybe he's listening to us, so
Yeah.
Tyrese, reach
Tyrese,
out.
you need a new home.
Down. I'm not gonna name, but an artist did reach out to us for services, but
Oh, okay.
so,
Oh, all right. Fancy.
yeah. But yeah, definitely replace a property. And then, what do you think in terms of location, right?
Yeah.
If a husband is more of a suburb guy, or vice versa, if the wife likes the city, how would you
Yes.
answer to that? What would you feel that who should take the lead?
Well,
Because
this,
that's a big difference to
but
be
but
either in a
also
suburb or in the
see
city.
the most important thing in marriage is the conversation about marriage before you get married, right?
Okay.
And also where you're gonna live, where your kids gonna go to school, if you're gonna have kids. Now, if there are no kids and you want to stay in the city, then that could be an interesting conversation. But a lot of folks, most folks want to have children and want to not all, but most. So being away from the city, it's easier to raise kids, in my opinion. So it
Why do
just
you think?
you have more space. less people, less crowds. It's just a
People is
different.
good.
Yeah, but oh, because you like Brooklyn, right? That's why we're going to this again.
As a child growing in Long Island, now I love Long Island. Like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I would totally raise kids in Long Island, but I used to wait and look at the clock on the wall as soon as that clock, as soon as the house alarm, the
Okay.
house alarm, the class alarm, sorry, went off. I used to run to the Long Island Railroad to catch the train to the
To go to the
city.
city, right?
But
Yeah.
again, it's just there is so much in the city, from after school programs to parks. There's a lot, but I know it's like a vision of people saying, "Oh, the city's not for kids. It's better."
No, I just, but I love the fact that we could visit the city. I don't want to live in the city.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the type of
You
person you
know,
are.
that's why, yeah, you don't sleep. So you belong in the city.
Yeah,
you know, but I do believe that a little bit of everything is great when you're raising children regardless,
yeah,
right? They should have a city experience, right? They
yeah.
should have a country experience. They should have out of the country experience. Um, we should do as much as we can with our kids and expose them to as much as we can.
Yeah. I think I changed about 30 houses since I was little.
Wow.
As a child, forget since,
Oh,
you
wow.
know, because my parents used to also try to get in the game of fixing and flipping.
Okay.
So yeah, we changed a lot
Yeah, I
because my
can't.
mom was in real estate. My dad, little by little, came
So when we're
into
gonna have your
real
mom on the
estate.
podcast?
Oh, I wish.
I wish to.
We almost did a podcast from Israel. It was
I
kind
know.
of
I
interesting.
know.
No,
Yeah.
but
Somebody
she may
party
visit
too
the
hard.
state soon, but
Yeah.
not just yet. Not just yet. Hopefully soon. She will definitely come. Interesting woman,
Yes.
crazy one, but
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. I'm sure the apple didn't fall too far from the tree. I can't wait to meet her.
No, she's tougher. She has more
She's
guts.
tougher?
She listen. She was in the real estate market from 98, 97, 98
Yeah.
until 2010.
Wow.
So that was like, these years were rough being in the streets. She used to drive and I was next to her, and the way she would she would find her ways. She had a map about this big that would open
Wow.
up and be that size. So she would open it up. She would see where she would go. So little by little, she learned the way, and yeah,
Yeah, I would love
she's
to pick
talking
her
about
brain about how she found deals back in the 80s
90s, late 90s.
or late 90s. Okay.
Um, yeah, just word of mouth. It was a lot of just talking to people, a lot of face to face, and flyers, newspaper. Remember the
Yes,
newspaper? That was
right. You have little, yes,
yeah.
yes.
So a lot of that, and then the radio came in little by little. It was so expensive, but there were still those little channels that brought, all these
Information.
information. But overall, again, the wife, she was also the dominant one that used to call the decisions and push my dad to decisions, because overall, I believe that men are not all men. Okay, no, don't quote. I believe that men are kind of followers, you know, meaning if they are happy in their place, they'll listen to the wife and they'll actually cooperate and do things together. Obviously they are 50%, so
Yeah.
but overall I feel like men are, as long as they are good in their circle, they'll do well. Like if they're happy, they're comfortable, then they'll follow the wife and
Well, it
eventually
depends.
listen.
It depends on the nature of that man's business.
Yeah, you
Because
think so?
yeah, because if a person's working, running a corporate America or doing, they're really super busy.
um
So you may not even need their permission because they're too busy to even say yes or no.
yeah,
So it
yeah,
depends on the type of man we're talking. If we're talking somebody running a corporation, or if we're talking somebody that works for a corporation, or if we're talking somebody that works for the state, like there's different levels of income. So you're going to have different types of communication depending on the demands of these jobs
Yeah.
or their professions, you know?
Another trigger to a problem in a relationship when it comes to wife versus husband when house shopping is a change in the life of the career. Meaning, sometimes you go into a house purchase and then the person was a homemaker, right? She's
Right.
not used to work. And all of a sudden, the wife decides to, for example, sew wigs, okay,
Yeah.
something out of the house. And then she becomes successful. And then she becomes a businesswoman, someone that she wasn't before. Now, I'm not saying that something changes in her, but then all of a sudden, the vision of the husband, you know, changes towards the wife.
Right.
So that's a change that people go through. And I see that a lot lately, since not even COVID, since that whole internet became so exposed and out there. A lot of people found the internet to be their stage to perform and to put together their businesses,
Yes.
and little by little became, you know,
I know
businesswomen and men.
fans only took off.
Yeah, and people changed that. People changed. So then all of
Yeah.
a sudden, the wife that was quiet while the husband made a turn and purchased a home, she decides to grow bigger. She's making money now,
Yeah.
so she wants to go even bigger. So that's when the husband is like, wait, so we should go bigger. Now she makes money. So that could be a change of where we initially listened to the husband and now it's time to maybe listen to the wife,
Right.
you know? So it depends on the situation of where and what they do, how they grow together.
Staying connected.
Yeah.
You know, staying connected regardless of where you're home, um, putting your family first by listening to each other. Um, but if you lose that connection, per se, because you're never home or you don't talk, and then
Yeah.
people start doing things without talking about it. You start spending money differently, spending
Communication.
time differently, and then next thing you know, your relationship is going very different
Yeah.
and you're growing apart.
Communication
Yeah.
is very important. A lot of
Yes.
people pick a day out of the week. Do you know that there are a lot of couples 1 day a week? It doesn't matter how many kids they have, how long they've been together. 1 day a week, they call a date and they go on a
Right.
date. So
Right.
cute. I see it a lot. You do that?
Yeah, we do that, and we also have
You
like
do?
a
You do that?
yes,
You take your wife on a date every week?
yes, yes. And
Ooh,
sometimes
fancy.
it's not even going out. Sometimes it's a time where we connect,
Yeah.
regardless whether we're in a restaurant, whether
So
we're
cute.
bowling, we're just connecting. And then we also have another time where we talk
Chris,
house business.
I want a selfie every time you go out now. Wait, hello. I didn't
Yeah,
know
you
that.
do you have
So
that? Do you
cute.
have that too?
No,
Uh-huh.
but you know the days that I disconnect from the
No,
world.
I know that.
Friday
But that's
till
not a date.
Saturday
That's
night.
not a date.
It's not, but you know what it is? It's the bonding time because that's the time we have off.
No, no,
No
no,
phones.
no. But a bonding time, just you and your husband, not the whole family. Because that's the thing. The kids can eat up time, and that's all you're talking about. But what about Nina and what about Nina's husband? What about like just the two of you together?
Yeah, okay,
You
okay.
know. But I know you.
Text me next time you go. I'll go
Yeah,
and
yeah.
see.
But I know you guys flew down to South Beach, so I know some inside stuff. So she is good. Trust
What
me.
in South Beach? Wait, what? I missed that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, I mean, I do
That
need
was
a
in February, right?
I do need a vacation. I haven't gone on vacation in a
Mm,
little bit, but I mean we went all girls, but
hmm.
I need a vacation. That trip was a trip. It was 30% work, 60% showing the kids to the family,
Okay.
and 10%,
Wow, that's right.
yeah, and
Yeah.
10% just eating and gaining weight.
Don't believe her on that one. She probably eat nothing but nuts and berries.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
haven't gone
so
to Pilates. Sorry. Okay, go
yeah,
back to
what?
the subject.
You ate cake? Nah.
Yeah, right. Yes,
So you know what? There's no real battle when you're with the right person. You just make informed choices together, and I generally find that when you're with the right person, You respect what they want, and if it's something that they like, you go along with it for the most part. So when you're buying a home, if the kitchen is important to your wife and she wants these things, you can compromise. You can compromise, or you could agree to let her have say and take control of the choices for that room, and multiple rooms in the house. We agreed on what our daughter room would look like, what our son, well, he was easy, what our son room would look like, the type of kitchen, living room. And so when we were going to houses, we would walk in, we know right away. I don't think there was one house that one of us was excited for and the other one wasn't.
Do you let your kids pick and choose
They weren't
details?
they were babies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now I would, but they were babies.
So if your son comes to you and he tells you, okay, I want a green wall or like, I don't know, crazy color,
First
you'll
of
say yes?
all, I'll be shocked because he really does not care. Now, my daughter, on the other hand, she already has a list and she's looking for contractors, and she's only 8. Like,
Excuse me?
she wants her room redone, and she's more of the interior decorator that would like to change things in the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
Okay.
son just wants snacks and plays video games.
Kids definitely nowadays know what they want.
Yeah.
I see that, not only with us, but I see it with clients. Um, they always say, I have to come back with my kids. And sometimes they come back with their teenagers, young teenagers.
Yeah.
So it's definitely more involving than
Yeah.
what it used to be. In terms of husband and wife, I hardly see them come together. They split, and then once they like it, they bring the other
Family.
the other spouse. Um, but as far as like the finances and who's gonna decide on, how much to,
Yeah.
that already depends on the situation.
See, the economics is another story, right? But
Yeah.
you have to be on, like you said, be on the same page together to make whatever sacrifices you need to make it's a huge purchase to buy a home,
Yeah.
right? So you have to know what you want to spend a month, what you want to spend per month, and also some folks are moving from an apartment to a home and they never seen a water bill before,
Yeah.
so they never had lawn care before. So there's so much more that goes into home ownership. But if you're going to buy an apartment, then that's null and void because you don't have those. But sometimes if you're buying a condo, you may have like a home association fee. So you're still gonna have money that you're gonna pay on top of what you're paying for your mortgage. That's all. And so sitting down with folks when you sit down to get to the money, it's good to have a person that can inform you on these different expenses so that you can make a educated amount of how much you're going to spend per month before you even buy the home.
Yeah. I do also want to mention that we're gonna make a post about it soon. Sorry.
Yeah.
I got together with a few banks in the past couple of days. I know even though I wasn't here, I'm still working 4 p.m. to 12 p.m. Well, 12 p.m. to 12 a.m.,
Ask her what time zone.
which is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. New York times. I got together with a few banks, and there are a few really, really nice programs
Yeah.
who provide grants
Okay.
and they don't need to pay it back. Okay, buyers who buy homes and qualify for it doesn't have to be anything special, nothing out of the ordinary, no extra financing, just normal homeowners who wish to purchase a home, whether it's an FHA or investment properties. You have grants.
Yes.
And I'm sure you guys don't really know that because it's a new thing that came out. And like I said, I got together with a few banks and they offered their services to me for me to provide it and to introduce it to you. Yes, Chris, would you
So
like to say something?
let the audience know how do these grants assist them in purchasing a home? What's the great benefit of getting this grant money?
You see this? Take this, Chris.
Yeah.
Keep it. I don't want it. I don't need it. That's for you. That's exactly how it is. Take it towards your purchase. Use it for your own benefit. Period. I checked it.
So that means less down payment money.
You can use it again towards your closing cost, towards your down payment. well, down payment on contract. Okay, you have to
Right.
be the pre-qualification and everything has to go through underwriting,
Right.
but you can use it towards anything. Okay, you can even use it after closing towards your
Mortgage.
renovations or whatever you want to do on your home. Free grants. I'm telling you, like, what are they not doing for you to purchase a home nowadays? And I love it because look, they have the interest rates are going up. Okay, now they went down a little bit. Thank you. But still, they have those grants just for you to use them. So why not?
Right.
Now, you probably think, okay, nothing is for free, right? Okay, you're right. But at least you know that the option is there for you to take money now while you're paying them a little more for the interest rate.
Yeah.
You do pay more, yes. Okay, the interest rate is there, but does it matter if you not take it and you go to a different bank and pay more?
Right.
So the grants are there. So we're gonna put a post. We're gonna talk about it. I just have to be
And if
prepared to
you're
all the questions in the world because I don't like to introduce something that I not fully knowledgeable
educated
about.
about, listen, we're going to talk about that next week. But also, listen,
Yeah,
in New York City, actually all across the country for the most part, but especially in New York City because of the prices of the home, anytime you can get free money, take it.
yeah,
Right? You could use some relief when you're going to purchase a home, and let's say, like, when I purchased my home, I had to replace my roof. I had to redo my concrete. I had to do a lot of work. I wound up spending like maybe 50, 60,000. I wish I had a grant that would have just covered that. Right. But also we knew in advance that we were going to buy a home and make changes regardless. So if you could save up for your down payment, that's great. But also, if you can put funds away so that you can not only paint your house the way you want it, cover anything incidental that happens after you purchase a home. Right. My
yeah.
daughter was about 1 years old, and her ceiling, it fell down on, like, thank God, we had
Are
a
you for
cousin,
real?
yeah, a cousin staying with us, and she picked her up right before the ceiling fell, and so we had to redo her whole room. Right. But that's not something we saw in the engineer report. It's not something. It was just natural wear and tear that happened in a house that's old. Right. So, but we had money to cover that because, like I said,
Chris, the ceiling falling?
yes, the whole ceiling fell. Only thing that stood up was the fan.
So they
The
probably had a
whole
leak.
ceiling, the whole thing. Yeah, we had to replace the roof. So that there were issues there that you couldn't see, and the water damage from the roof.
Did you involve insurance?
So no, we pay for this out of pocket.
Wow.
Yeah, but and it wasn't a huge. It wasn't expensive at all. It wasn't a huge. The worst part was, thank God we had somebody in the room with my daughter at that age because she was a baby in the
That's
crib.
crazy. That's
Yeah, so thank God was with us. But you never know what could happen when you purchase a home. So you have to have just, and you're right, insurance. Check your coverage, make sure you have fire insurance, um flood insurance, which is
yeah.
probably through the roof right now. But these different things can help you so that you don't come out of pocket. We had to replace a boiler, and our water tank. Now I think about it, but we had money for these incidentals, I call them.
So in conclusion, it
Yeah,
doesn't really matter whether you're the wife
or the husband.
or the husband, or the husband and the husband, or the wife and the wife.
Yep, as long as you are one, that's all that
There's
matters.
so much going on in the news that I keep mentioning. Um,
Well,
but yeah, so it's not about who to listen to. Both opinions matter.
exactly.
Take a pen and a paper and write it all down, and always listen to options. Not
Yep.
all the time there are good options or good advices, but there's no bad opinion or advice. It could always trigger to a problem that could happen in the future. So you always take everything under into consideration and think how it makes a difference, a good difference, a bad difference for you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in with us this fine evening. We look forward to speaking with you next week. Welcome back, Nina,
Thank you.
and we'll
Sorry I
see you.
wasn't around
Nah,
for
there's
a little
nothing to be
bit.
sorry about. We'll see you next week.
Yes, we will.
God bless and good night.
Bye.